Have you ever wondered why, even after trying so many things, peace still feels far away? Why do small things disturb your mind so easily? Why does your heart feel heavy, even when life seems okay from the outside? Imagine this. You wake up in the morning hoping for a calm day, but one little message, one rude word, or one unwanted memory ruins your mood for hours. Why is it so easy to lose peace and so hard to get it back? Just like someone carrying an invisible bag full of rocks, many people walk through life not knowing what's weighing them down. These rocks are not outside things. They live inside the mind. They are thoughts, emotions, and habits that disturb us without even making a sound. Let's begin today's journey into understanding why peace escapes us again and again. This video is not about big philosophy or hard words. It's about real, daily problems we all face. And most importantly, it's about how the Buddha pointed to 5 hidden enemies inside us that quietly steal our peace. Welcome to Wisdom Woven, your space for simple but powerful Buddhist wisdom. If you're someone who wants calm in your heart and clarity in your life, this channel is for you. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribes. So please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps this peaceful message reach more hearts like yours. The Buddha taught that suffering doesn't come from life itself, but from how our mind reacts to it. And in that reaction, 5 specific things cause the most harm. These are not outside enemies. They live within us and control how we feel, act, and think. Many people try to fix the outside world, changing jobs, moving places, ending relationships, but still feel the same restlessness inside. That's because the root problem was never outside. It was always hidden within the mind. In this series, we'll explore these 5 hidden obstacles, not just by naming them, but by understanding how they show up in our day-to-day life and how to gently remove their grip step by step. No need to become a monk or meditate for hours. What's needed is awareness, clarity, a willingness to look inside honestly. This is the beginning of a new kind of freedom, a peace that doesn't depend on anyone or anything. Stay with us, because the truth is simple, and once you see it, you'll wonder why you never noticed it before. Attachment, the illusion that chains the mind. Sit down, dear one. Let the world outside be still for a moment. Let the noise settle. What I will share with you today is not complicated, but it touches the very root of your unrest. You say you want peace. Everyone says they want peace. But tell me, how can you be peaceful while your heart is tangled in 100 ropes? Some ropes are tied to people, some to dreams, some to your past, and some to fears about your future. These ropes are called attachment. Let's begin by understanding what attachment truly is. Attachment is not love. People often get confused here. Love is free. Love flows like water. It nurtures. But attachment? Attachment clings. It says, you must stay. You must make me happy. You must not change. And the moment anything shifts, the pain begins. You can see this in small things. When your phone battery dies and you feel restless, not because of the phone, but because of the attachment to constant connection. When someone doesn't reply quickly and your heart feels hurt, it's not the message that wounds you, but the attachment to attention. Can you see it? Attachment is like holding a hot coal tightly in your hand, thinking it will give you warmth. But all it gives you is pain. Now, how does the Buddha teach about this? He said, the root of suffering is craving, and craving is born from attachment. We get attached to what we enjoy, and slowly we believe, I cannot live without this. Whether it's a person, a routine, or even an image of who we think we are. When we attach to something, we build a little prison around it. Then we sit in front of it every day, guarding it, afraid it might disappear. But life is always changing. People change. Bodies grow old. Seasons move on. Nothing remains the same. And so, attachment always brings fear. And fear, my friend, is the enemy of peace. Let me tell you a simple story. A man once had a beautiful cup. Every morning he would drink tea from it and feel joy. He said, "This is my favorite cup." One day while cleaning it slipped and broke. The man cried for hours. Why? Was it the cup he mourned, or the memory, or the feeling it gave him. He wasn't crying over porcelain. He was grieving the comfort, the routine, the belief that this cup made his morning perfect. That is attachment. Now, ask yourself, how many cups are you holding on to? You may think, but without attachment, isn't life empty? No, dear one. Without attachment, life becomes full. You begin to love without fear. You enjoy without needing to possess. You walk through the world with open hands, not closed fists. When you hold on tightly, your hands are full. You can't receive anything new. But when you let go, truly let go, life pours in. Does this mean you stop caring? No. It means you care deeply, but you understand that nothing is truly yours. People come and go. Situations rise and fall. What stays is your awareness, your calm, your wisdom. Let's go deeper. The Buddha once said, "You can only lose what you cling to." These words are like a mirror. Look into them. Every pain you carry, ask, what am I clinging to? Is it a person's approval? A dream you once had? A version of yourself that no longer fits? Sometimes the hardest attachments are not to others, but to ourselves. We hold on to ideas like, I must be successful, or I must always be strong. When life doesn't match that image, we suffer. Why? Because we're attached to who we think we are, instead of flowing with who we truly are. Let me share a small practice. Each morning, before you rise, say gently to yourself, nothing is mine. Everything is a gift. And every gift will return one day. Try this. Watch how it softens your grip on the day. Watch how your heart becomes lighter. Attachment often hides behind the words, I need. But most of the time, what we need is peace, not more things. Not more people. Not more control. A bird flies because it does not carry its nest. We must learn from this. You may be thinking, how do I live without attachment? Is it even possible? Yes, but not all at once. You start with awareness. When you notice your heart clinging, pause. Breathe. Watch. That small space between the urge to hold and the choice to release. That is the doorway to peace. Some attachments are deep. Family, love, purpose. Buddhism does not say, cut all ties. It says, don't tie your soul to anything that can change. Love, but don't possess. Give, but don't expect. Act, but don't demand results. You're not being asked to become cold. You're being asked to become free. Imagine your life as a river. The water flows, carrying leaves, flowers, and sometimes even storms. You are not the things floating by. You are the river itself. Let things pass. Feel them. Appreciate them. But don't hold them still. That is not their nature. The more you attach, the more the mind says, this is me. This is mine. But these two thoughts, me and mine, create the walls of a prison. In you, dear soul, we're born to be free. So, take one step today. Look at one thing you cling to. Just one. And gently ask, can I loosen my grip? Not to throw it away, but to let it breathe. To let you breathe. Remember, peace does not come when you have everything. It comes when you need less. When you let go of what you think you must have, what you truly need appears. Quiet, calm, unshakable. This is the first change. And now you see it. With each part of this journey, we will face the others. Gently, honestly, together. Breathe now. Sit in silence for just a moment. You're doing well. You're waking up. And that is more than enough. Aversion, escaping what you can't run from. Sit down, child. Let's talk about something you already know but may not have named. Aversion. Aversion is that inner push that says, I don't want this. It rises when you hear something you don't like. When someone criticizes you. When the food isn't to your taste. When plans go wrong. It appears fast, sometimes before you even know it's there. Like a match struck in the dark, it sparks without warning. Now, listen carefully. Peace is not destroyed by big disasters. Most of the time, peace is quietly stolen by the little dislikes of everyday life. A slow internet connection, a noisy neighbor, a family member who doesn't behave the way you want. You don't want them. You don't want a noise. You don't want a delay. And this don't want is what burns the peace from your chest like fire. Aversion is like throwing poison at a shadow, hoping it disappears. But no matter how much you push away what you dislike, the feelings stay. In fact, the more you push, the more power it gains. Haven't you noticed? The more you try not to feel angry, the angrier you get. The more you avoid someone, the more they appear in your thoughts. Strange, isn't it? Let me tell you a small story. A monk once lived deep in the forest. He loved silence. One day, a group of noisy villagers settled nearby. Every day was filled with laughter, shouting, music. The monk began to feel disturbed. "I cannot meditate in this noise," he said. So he moved to another mountain. But there, a woodcutter came every day and sang loudly as he chopped. The monk moved again to a riverbank. But this time it was the frogs and insects making endless sound. After months of running, the monk sat by the river and thought, "It's not the sound that is disturbing me. It's my rejection of it." That day he stopped escaping, and, for the first time, he heard the music in the noise. Peace came not by changing the world, but by changing his heart. This is the wisdom I want to offer you. Aversion is not just anger. It is irritation, discomfort, dislike, even boredom. Yes, boredom is also a form of aversion. It says, "I don't like this moment." But here's the truth. You live only in this moment. If you dislike it, you're pushing away life itself. The Buddha taught that aversion is one of the 5 hindrances. Hindrance means something that blocks your path, like a rock in the middle of a road. You may try to walk around it, or jump over it, or kick it. But what if you just sat and looked at it without judgment? You'd see it clearly. And once you see it, the path becomes lighter. The problem is not the feeling. The problem is fighting the feeling. The moment you say, "This shouldn't be here," you suffer. But the moment you say, "This too is part of now," something softens inside. You may ask, "Master, what should I do when anger rises?" Good question. Do nothing to the anger. Just see it. Watch it like a storm in the sky. Do not become the storm. Become the sky. Let the storm pass. It always does. This is what the Buddha meant by mindfulness. Not controlling your emotions, but being aware of them without judgment. The moment you say, "This is just anger," it loses its power over you. Some people say, "But isn't anger useful sometimes?" Yes, if it is pure action, not reaction. If your anger leads you to protect someone, to speak a hard truth with love, then it is not burning anger. It is compassion wearing a strong voice. But most anger in daily life is reaction. Ego. You hurt me. I must hurt you. That is poison, not wisdom. Let me show you something simple. Close your eyes right now. Think of something that recently made you annoyed. A word, a person, a situation. Hold it in your mind. Now ask yourself, what am I pushing away? Is it the feeling, the memory, the person? Then ask, can I allow this feeling to be here just for a moment without fighting it? If you can, something amazing happens. The tightness loosens. This is not magic. It is clarity. The Buddha said that aversion grows stronger when we feed it. Every time you tell yourself, "This should not be happening," you feed the fire. But when you say, "Let me look at this," you remove its food. So what to do? Step 1. Notice when aversion rises. Step 2. Pause. Don't act. Don't speak. Just breathe. Step 3. Feel in your body. Is it in the chest? The stomach? The face? Step 4. Name it gently. Say, this is dislike. This is resistance. Step 5. Let it be. You don't have to fix it. Just watch. It will pass. I promise. All things rise and fall. Emotions too. Remember, peace does not come from avoiding hard things. Peace comes from not turning hard things into enemies. When you stop pushing, you stop suffering. You may say, "But Master, what about people who treat me badly?" Ah, yes. There are people who will hurt you. They lie. They cheat. They insult. But if you carry hate in your heart for them, you're drinking the poison, not them. The Buddha never said, "Let people hurt you." But he did say, "Do not let hatred live in your heart." Protect yourself, but don't pollute yourself. Forgiveness is not approval. Is freedom. You let go, not for them, but for yourself. When you react with aversion, you tie yourself to what you hate. When you respond with awareness, you untie the knot. Slowly, gently, with compassion. In this life, things won't always go your way. But that's okay. Peace doesn't mean perfect conditions. Peace means an undisturbed heart in all conditions. Walk with this truth. What you resist persists. What you accept transforms. Let go of pushing. Let go of fighting. Watch the aversion when it rises like a wave. You're not the wave. You are the ocean. Now go and live your day with open eyes, soft breath, and a calm heart. If aversion comes, greet it like an old friend, not to fight but to understand. And in that understanding, may you find the peace that has been with you all along. We will continue this journey step by step. But for now, just remember, not everything you dislike needs to be pushed away. Some things just need to be seen with gentle eyes. Let that truth rest inside you like a still lake. Restlessness, the silent agitator of the heart. So you have come this far. That's good. Sit. Just sit. Breathe once, slowly. Now let me ask you something simple. Have you ever sat still, but felt like your mind is dancing all over the place? You try to rest, but inside, it feels like a monkey jumping from one branch to another, never sitting in one place. You try to listen, but some part of your mind is already thinking what's next. You try to sleep, but your mind keeps running. This is restlessness, a very quiet troublemaker, a hidden thief. Restlessness is not loud like anger. It doesn't shout like fear. It doesn't cry like sadness. It simply keeps you moving inside, endlessly, uselessly, without rest. The Buddha called it udhaka, mental agitation. The feeling that something needs to be done, changed, avoided, gained, right now. But even after doing 100 things, your heart still doesn't settle. Why? Because the mind never stops spinning. It believes peace is somewhere else, never here. Let me tell you a little story. Once, a man came to the Buddha and said, "Master, I have a problem. I can't sit still. Why try to meditate? My legs hurt. My thoughts won't stop. I feel like I'm wasting time." The Buddha looked at him and smiled gently. "Then don't sit," he said. "Run, climb, shout. But know this, you will still be with yourself wherever you go." The man paused. The Buddha continued, "Restlessness is like a shadow. The more you run from it, the more it follows. But if you stop and turn around, you will see it was only your own shape, not a monster." You see, restlessness isn't caused by the world. It's caused by resistance. We want things to be different, so our mind keeps spinning, rehearsing, worrying, planning, avoiding. But even if the world changes, this spinning mind remains. Some people think restlessness means you are energetic, but that's not true. Restlessness is energy without peace. It's like a river in flood, wild, muddy, and destructive. But energy with peace is like a calm river, strong but gentle, able to nourish life. Why are we so restless? Because we are afraid to meet ourselves. We fear silence. We fear the space where no distraction hides our feelings. So we keep our minds busy, jumping from phone to phone, screen to screen, thought to thought. But the more we run, the less we know who we really are. The Buddha taught that restlessness is one of the 5 great hindrances, obstacles that block inner stillness. It doesn't come alone. It's usually tied to craving. We want something, pleasure, praise, success, and we worry about losing it or not getting it. So the mind keeps moving. Sometimes it's guilt, sometimes anxiety. Sometimes we don't even know what's wrong, but we keep checking, thinking, calculating. That is restlessness. It's a mind not knowing how to sit with itself. So what can be done? First, do not fight it. If you try to calm down forcefully, it only gets worse. That's like telling a crying child to shut up. It doesn't help. Instead, notice the restlessness. Say in your heart, "Ah, here you are again." Watch it. Smile gently at it. Let's speak without reacting. You are not your restlessness. You're the space in which restlessness rises and fades. Second, bring the mind back to the body. Restlessness lives in thoughts, but your breath, your feet, your heartbeat, these are always here. When a mind spins, return to the breath. Not with force. Gently, like bringing a child home from storm. Walk slowly. Eat slowly. Talk less. Do not rush. Even one slow breath is enough to begin peace. Third, ask your mind kindly, what are you running from? Sometimes the answer will surprise you. Often, the mind is just afraid afraid of emptiness, of stillness, of facing something deep inside. But emptiness is not bad. Emptiness is the beginning of peace. If you can sit through the restlessness, just sit without giving in, something magical happens. Slowly, the wave settles. And under it, you see a calm sea that was always there. Monks in the forest say that restlessness is like wind shaking the surface of the lake. But deep below, the water remains still. Meditation is diving below the surface. The waves are there, yes, but they no longer control you. People think peace means no thoughts. That's not true. Peace means not being caught by thoughts. Let thoughts come and go like clouds in the sky. You don't chase them. You don't stop them. You just stay with the sky, your awareness. The Buddha did not teach peace as something far. He taught it as something already here, hidden under the noise. Restlessness hides it, but restlessness can be understood. It can be unlearned, not by force but by stillness. Sometimes in Zen, we say don't just do something, sit there. Strange advice in a world full of noise, right? But try it. Just sit. Let your thoughts go wild. Watch them, like a kind old tree watches birds fly through its branches. Some birds stay, some leave. The tree doesn't mind. Be that tree. Restlessness cannot win if you don't follow it. That is the secret. You don't need to conquer it. You just need to stop feeding it. Watch. Breathe. Wait. Soon, you'll see, beneath all that motion, there's a vast stillness. That stillness is your true nature. And once you taste it, even for a few moments, you'll know that peace was never far. It was only covered. Keep going. We have more to uncover, more truths to gently see. But for now, just be still. Doubt, the cloud that blinds the path. Sit with me. Breathe gently. Let the world be as it is. Now listen closely, not with the ears, but with the quiet space in your heart. Today we talk about something very quiet, very tricky. It doesn't shout like anger. It doesn't chase like desire. It whispers. It hides. It asks you questions that make your soul feel lost. It's called doubt. Doubt is not always bad. If you didn't doubt fire, you'd burn your fingers. If you didn't doubt poison, you'd drink it. But the doubt I speak of today is different. It is the kind that stops you from walking forward. The kind that makes you question your own heart again and again, until you are too tired to take even one more step. This doubt is a fog, a thick cloud in the mind. You know you want peace. You know you've read about calm, truth, awakening. But then this doubt comes and says, will this work for you? Maybe others can change, but not you. It says this path is too hard. Maybe it's not even true. And just like that, your courage is gone. You sit down at the edge of the road and never get up again. Many people believe they need answers to clear their doubts. But answers don't help when your heart is full of fear. Doubt is not about not knowing. Doubt is about not trusting. Even when the road is clear, doubt says, maybe I'll fall. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe this is all a waste. I've seen many students come to the path with great excitement. They meditate one day, maybe a week. But then their old doubts come back. They ask, why is my mind still full of noise? I say, because you spent 30 years feeding that noise. Be patient, but their doubt grows louder. Maybe meditation isn't working, it says. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. And then they quit, not because the practice failed, but because doubt made them believe it had. There's a story about a man who wanted to cross a river. He built a raft from wood and leaves. It was a simple raft. It could float barely. As he crossed halfway, he looked at the strong currents and thought, what if this raft breaks? Then he saw a man on the other side shouting, come, it's safe. But doubt whispered, maybe that man is lying. So he froze. He stopped rowing. The raft wobbled and started to turn. Not because the river was too strong, but because he stopped moving. This is what doubt does. It makes you stop when all you need to do is continue. The Buddha spoke about 5 hindrances, 5 things that disturb the mind. Doubt was one of them, but he didn't say, get rid of doubt with force. He said, see it, know it, understand it. Doubt grows in darkness. Like mold, it feeds on confusion. But when light is brought in, when mindfulness touches it, it weakens. When you doubt your path, don't run away. Don't force faith either. Just sit. Breathe. Look. Ask, what is this thought? Then let it pass like clouds in the sky. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to fix it. Just notice that it's not you. It's only a passing shadow. In Zen, we say great doubt, great awakening. Little doubt, little awakening. No doubt, no awakening. Sounds strange, doesn't it? But it means this. When you look deeply into your doubt, really stare at it without fear, it will show you your deepest truth. But if you only scratch its surface and then run away, you remain in the fog forever. Some people believe that certainty is strength. But in the Zen way, we say strength comes from being with uncertainty without collapsing. To sit in the middle of not knowing and still breathe calmly. This is the beginning of true peace. There's another story. A monk asked the master, "Master, what if I never find peace?" The master smiled and said, "Then that will be your path, learning how to sit with not finding peace." The monk frowned, "But then I will fail." The master shook his head. "Only if you believe peace is a prize. Peace is not something you get. It is what you uncover when all the layers of doubt fall away." So how do you work with doubt? Not by fighting it, not by believing every thought it brings. You work with it by staying. Doubt says, "Run." You say, "No, I will stay here and watch." Doubt says, "This won't work." You say, "Maybe, but I will still try." Doubt says, "You're not ready." You smile gently and reply, "Maybe, but I will begin anyway." The truth is, everyone who ever walked the path of peace faced doubt. Even the Buddha faced it under the Bodhi tree. The demon Mara came, whispering fear, casting illusions, bringing every trick to shake him. But the Buddha touched the earth and said, "I am here." That was enough. Not a sword, not a chant, just deep presence. Can you sit like that? Can you say, "I don't know what's ahead, but I am here"? That is the true beginning. You don't need perfect belief. You don't need to be sure every step is right. You only need to take the step. The biggest lie doubt tells is that you must feel ready before you begin. But you grow ready through the beginning. Doubt is not your enemy. It is your test. It is the guardian at the gate of transformation. It asks, do you really want to know peace? Or are you only curious? If your heart answers, yes, I truly want to be free, then doubt becomes your teacher. So when it visits you, and it will, don't panic. Offer it tea. Listen to it speak. Then, when it's done, bow kindly and let it go. Peace will return, not with thunder, but with a quiet softness, like a leaf landing on still water, like morning light on your face. And you will smile, not because doubt left you forever, but because you are no longer afraid of it. That is the real path, not one without shadows, but one where you learn to walk with the shadows, calmly, lovingly, bravely. Craving, the fire that never satisfies. Sit with me. Let's talk, not about the world outside, but the world inside. Let's speak of something we all carry, something that burns quietly in the mind like a hidden fire. Craving. It's not a new enemy. It's been with you since childhood. It has worn many faces, but it has only one goal, to keep you running. Craving is that feeling of just one more bite, just one more scroll, just one more look, one more word, one more success. It sounds so soft, so gentle, but it never ends, does it? You eat your favorite food, and for a moment, there's pleasure. Then suddenly, you're reaching again. Not because you're hungry, but because your mind whispers, more. You buy something new, and the joy fades in days, sometimes hours. You think about someone you love, and your heart says, let's hold them tighter forever. And even then, the fear of losing them sneaks in. This is the nature of craving. It doesn't want you to be full. It wants you to stay chasing. When the Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree, the first enemy that came to him was not anger, not fear, it was desire. Craving dressed as beauty, as comfort, as promise. It said, leave the path. Come with me. You can have it all. But the Buddha saw through it. He didn't fight it. He just watched. Watched until it lost its power. You too can watch. The next time you feel that tightness in your chest, that reaching, that if only I had this, pause. Ask gently, what am I really looking for? Sometimes it's not the thing you crave, but the feeling you think it will give you. We crave not the object, but the relief, the joy, the escape. But those feelings are temporary. They always have a price. Have you noticed? Every time craving is fulfilled, it gives birth to another. And when it's not fulfilled, it gives birth to suffering. Either way, it keeps the wheel spinning. Craving is not just about money or things. It hides in thoughts too. We crave praise. We crave love. We crave attention, respect, victory, control. We even crave peace. That's right. We want peace on our own terms, in our own time, the way we want it. That too is craving. When peace becomes something you want to grab, it slips away. It cannot live in a hand that is grasping. So what do? Do we throw everything away? Do we reject the world? No. The Zen way is simple. We observe. We see clearly. We let go gently. When you see that you are craving, don't be angry. Smile softly. Say to yourself, "Ah, the fire is here again." And then breathe. Craving becomes weaker not when it is punished, but when it is understood. Let me tell you a small story. A student came to the Zen Master and said, "Master, I have everything, wealth, friends, respect, but I still feel empty." The Master said, "Then throw it all away." The student replied, "But I worked hard for it. How can I throw it away?" The Master smiled and said, "Then keep it, but throw away the wanting." That is the secret. You don't have to give up your life. You give up your grip on it. The tea is sweet only when you sip slowly. If you gulp it, you miss the taste. Life is the same. Craving steals the present moment. It makes now feel incomplete. It says, "You'll be happy after this." But peace never lives in the after. Peace is only ever here. Watch your thoughts. How often do you tell yourself, "I'll rest after I get this job. I'll feel better when they say sorry. I'll be happy once I reach my goal"? That's the fire speaking. The fire doesn't care about your happiness. It only cares about movement. It feeds on wanting. And every time you believe it, it grows stronger. Now, imagine the opposite. Imagine just sitting without wanting anything. Just breathing. No goal. No plan. Just being. Strange at first, isn't it? The mind will try to escape. It will say, "This is boring." That's craving again. It even craves excitement, noise, distraction. But if you stay a little longer, silence opens. A calmness arises, not from getting something, but from not needing anything. This is not laziness. This is awakening. Craving is what turns a quiet moment into restlessness. It turns a good life into one that feels lacking. It is never satisfied, never at peace. The more we run after things, the more things run after us. But when we stop and turn around, we see they were only shadows. You do not need to destroy desire. That is another form of desire. Just see it. See it clearly, like watching clouds pass in the sky. Let it rise, let it fall. You remain the open sky. What will happen then? You will start to enjoy small things again. A cup of warm tea, a soft breeze, a smile from a stranger. Not because they complete you, but because you no longer need them to. The fire of craving dims when you stop feeding it with your belief. Let your joy come not from getting, but from being. The Buddha didn't say life must be empty. He said it must be seen. And when you truly see craving for what it is, a flame with no end, you naturally choose peace over burning. So walk slowly, speak gently, look at the world without needing to own it. Let things come, let things go. The moment you no longer need peace is the moment it begins to arrive. Ignorance, the root of all inner turmoil. Listen carefully, for the mind is like a garden. If you do not clear the weeds, your flowers cannot grow. Ignorance is the deepest weed in the garden of the mind. It is not just lack of knowledge, but a blindness that hides the truth of who we really are. Many people think ignorance means not knowing facts, but in Buddhism, it means misunderstanding reality itself. It means seeing the world as solid, permanent, and separate, when in truth, everything is changing, connected, and empty of fixed self. This mistake causes all suffering. When a mind is blind to the true nature of things, it clings to what cannot stay. It fears losing what it loves and hates what causes discomfort. This blindness keeps the wheel of suffering turning again and again. Imagine a man walking in the dark, stumbling over stones and roots, getting hurt without knowing why. This pain comes from the darkness. If he could turn on a light, he would see the path clearly and walk calmly. Ignorance is like that darkness in the mind. Because of ignorance, people seek happiness in things that are not lasting. Money, status, pleasure, or even ideas. When these fade or change, disappointment and pain follow. But the root cause is ignorance, the mistaken view that these things can give lasting peace. The Buddha taught that the first step to freedom is seeing clearly. Without understanding how things truly are, no practice or effort can lead to lasting peace. This is why ignorance is called the root of all inner turmoil. When you don't see the nature of the mind and the world, you live in confusion. Your desires, fears, and attachments grow stronger. They become like shadows chasing you endlessly. But when you begin to understand, the shadows start to fade. This understanding is not just intellectual. It is a deep knowing of the direct experience. It is like waking from a dream and realizing you are trapped in illusions. This awakening is possible for everyone, and it is the path to true peace. In daily life, ignorance shows itself as impatience, judgment, and misunderstanding. When someone's words hurt you, ignorance makes you think it is a personal attack. When things don't go your way, ignorance makes you angry or sad. This is the mind caught in illusion. The mind often labels experiences as good or bad, mine or not mine, happy or unhappy. These labels come from ignorance, making the mind restless and confused. When you learn to see beyond labels, the mind settles. Zen teaches that the truth is simple. Everything changes, nothing lasts, and there's no fixed I separate from all that is. When this truth is understood, fear and desire lose their power. Ignorance makes us live as if we are alone islands, separate from others and the world. This isolation creates loneliness and conflict. But in truth, all life is interconnected like waves in the ocean. When the mind realizes this connection, it softens. Compassion grows naturally. You no longer see others as threats or rivals, but as part of yourself. This is the wisdom that overcomes ignorance. To remove ignorance, one must practice mindfulness and meditation. These are like the lamps that brighten the dark corners of the mind. They help you see thoughts and feelings clearly, without being trapped by them. By observing the mind gently and without judgment, you begin to notice patterns of ignorance, how the mind clings, how it fears, how it judges. Awareness itself weakens ignorance. The Buddha said ignorance is like a veil covering the eyes. When the veil lifts, suffering ends. But lifting this veil takes time and patience. It is a process of daily practice and self-observation. Sometimes, ignorance shows as stubbornness, the refusal to see other viewpoints or to question your own beliefs. This stubbornness traps the mind in suffering. Openness and humility help break this trap. In Zen, we say beginner's mind. This means seeing the world fresh, without old assumptions. It is the attitude that helps dissolve ignorance, because it welcomes truth, even if it challenges what you think you know. Ignorance can also hide as distraction. When the mind is busy with noise, entertainment, or constant thinking, it avoids seeing the truth. Silence and stillness are needed to clear the mind. The more you practice being present and aware, the more the fog of ignorance lifts. You start to understand the nature of your thoughts, feelings, and the world around you. Sometimes, ignorance appears as fear of the unknown. People cling to familiar suffering rather than face the uncertainty of truth. But courage to face the unknown is the key to freedom. Remember, the Buddha did not teach to accumulate knowledge for its own sake. He taught to transform the heart and mind through seeing reality clearly. This is the essence of ending ignorance. As the mind awakens, you begin to feel a natural peace that is not dependent on outside conditions. This peace is steady and gentle, like a clear lake reflecting the sky. When ignorance fades, you see that happiness is not something to chase or grab. It is already inside, waiting for you to recognize it. This awakening frees you from the constant struggle of wanting and rejecting. You no longer need to fight with life or yourself. The root of all turmoil is ignorance, but the root of all peace is wisdom. Wisdom is the light that reveals the truth and calms the mind. Cultivating wisdom requires honesty and patience. It is not a quick fix, but a lifelong journey of learning and unlearning. Don't be discouraged if the path seems hard. Each step you take to see clearly weakens ignorance and brings you closer to peace. Like a lamp that shines in the dark, even a small understanding can guide you through difficult times. When you face challenges, remind yourself that these are opportunities to see deeper, to understand more clearly, and to let go of old illusions. The practice of looking within is the most important work you will ever do. In that looking, you will find freedom. There is no outside enemy that can take your peace. It is only your own misunderstanding that blocks it. Be patient and kind with yourself as you uncover these hidden layers of ignorance. Trust that as you continue, the mind will open like a flower, revealing the calm and clarity that has always been there. The wise do not fear ignorance. They embrace it as a beginning, a doorway to awakening. In the silence of your heart, the truth shines bright. Let that light grow stronger each day. The 5 hindrances in everyday life. Sit down, child. Close your eyes just for a moment. Listen. Do you hear the silence around you? Or is your mind already racing? Peace is not something far away. It is right here, right now. But something keeps pulling you away from it again and again. Do you feel that? That little pull inside your chest, that restlessness in your thoughts, that voice that says, I need something else to feel okay. That's what we're here to talk about today. You've heard of the 5 hindrances by now: attachment, aversion, restlessness, doubt, and craving. The Buddha didn't teach these as words to memorize. He taught them because they are real, living, breathing blocks in the path to inner stillness. But what do these things actually look like in daily life? How do they show up when you're brushing your teeth, walking in the street, or sitting quietly and trying to find peace? Let me tell you a secret. The hindrances don't come with a name tag. They don't say, hello, I'm craving, or nice to meet you, I'm doubt. No, they hide. They disguise themselves as thoughts, moods, habits, and even logic. They feel normal, so normal that most people live their whole lives ruled by them and never notice. Let's begin with attachment. Not the deep kind we talk about with loved ones, but the small attachments we all carry every day. Think about this. You're waiting for your morning tea or coffee. It's a small thing, right? But what happens when it's not just right? Too cold, too late, too strong? Suddenly, you're annoyed, frustrated. The mind attaches to a small pleasure and then demands it. This is how peace slips away unnoticed over something as small as a cup of tea. Now, aversion. You're in traffic and someone cuts in front of you. Your hands tighten, your face heats up, your mind starts talking. How rude. What a fool. Do you see? The moment someone doesn't behave the way you expect, anger rises. Dislike forms quickly. Aversion isn't always shouting or slamming doors. Sometimes it's just that feeling inside that says, this should not be happening. And in that moment, peace is gone. Restlessness is a sly one. You're trying to sit quietly, but your mind keeps jumping. What's next? What should I do? Why am I just sitting here? Or maybe you're scrolling your phone for no reason. You say, I'm bored. But boredom is not the problem. It's restlessness. The mind can't sit still because it doesn't know how to rest. So it runs, thinking peace lies in the next thing, and the next, and the next. Now come close. Doubt is the hardest to see because it pretends to be wisdom. You're about to meditate, and a thought comes, is this really helping me? Or you read a teaching and wonder, is this even true? Or someone tells you to be kind, and your mind says, but what if they take advantage of me? Doubt is not your enemy, but it becomes one when it's not understood. It freezes you, keeps you stuck, makes you afraid to move forward. And then, craving. It whispers sweet things. Just one more bite, one more episode. If I just had that, I feel okay. Craving doesn't stop with food or things. We crave praise, attention, control, perfection. But here's the truth. What you crave is never the thing. It's the feeling you think it will give you. And that feeling, it never lasts. So craving starts again, and again, and again. These 5 hindrances don't take turns. They often show up together, mixing into a storm. You're attached to your plan for the day, then something goes wrong and aversion hits. You try to calm down, but restlessness stirs. Doubt sneaks in and says, "You'll never change." So you reach for your phone, a snack, a distraction. Craving ends the cycle, only to begin it again. This is what daily life looks like when we don't see clearly. It feels normal. It feels busy, but it is not peace. Let's look deeper. You come home tired. You plan to rest, but your mind pulls you to the TV, then the fridge, then your phone. You tell yourself, "I just need to relax." But ask yourself, do you feel more relaxed after all this? Or more distracted? This is the trap. The hindrances offer comfort, but deliver discomfort. They offer escape, but give more confusion. Even in relationships, the hindrances play a big role. Attachment makes you cling. Aversion makes you react. Restlessness makes you want more. Doubt makes you question their love. Craving makes you expect too much. Then we say, relationships are hard. But maybe it's not the relationship. Maybe it's the mind. A peaceful mind does not come from fixing the world. It comes from seeing these hindrances clearly. When you notice restlessness, you say, "Ah, there you are." When craving whispers, you smile and say, "Not today." When doubt rises, you say, "I see you." Not fighting, not judging, just seeing. That is the beginning of real peace. The Buddha didn't teach us to become someone else. He taught us to see. And once we see the hindrances, they lose their power. They rely on your blindness to survive. With the light of awareness, they fade. Start small. The next time you're waiting in line and you feel irritated, pause. The next time you crave something and you know it's not needed, wait. Just notice. You don't need to fix everything at once. One moment of awareness is more powerful than 1,000 unconscious habits. And child, remember this. Peace is not made. It is uncovered. It was always there under the noise. The hindrances are like clouds covering the sun. The sun never left. Your peace never left. Just learn to see through the clouds. So the next time you say, "Why am I not at peace?" don't look at the world. Look gently at your own mind. With kindness. With patience. With a smile. This is the practice. This is the path. This is how peace begins, right where you are. Observing the hindrances through mindfulness. Calme. Seat. Take a breath. Yes, just like that. Breathe in and breathe out. No pity. No goal. Just sit. You don't need to go anywhere to find peace. It is not hiding in a mountain, nor at the bottom of the ocean. It is always here. Always inside you. But something blocks it. Not one thing. 5. And we've already spoken of them. Desire, aversion, restlessness, doubt, and ignorance. Now, in this moment, let me tell you a secret, a gentle one. You don't need to fight these 5 enemies. You don't need to run away from them either. All you must do is observe. That's all. Watch them like clouds passing in the sky, like leaves floating down a river. Do not grab them. Do not push them. Just notice them. This is called mindfulness. Mindfulness is not some hard practice. It is not a ritual. It is not about sitting like a statue. It is about being aware. Fully, gently, lovingly aware of what is happening right now. When desire arises, that wanting, that craving, don't try to destroy it. Just say, "Ah, desire is here." Like a visitor who has knocked on your door. You don't have to let them live inside your home. You don't have to push them away. You simply open the door and smile. I see you. When anger comes, that heat, that storm inside, do not shout, do not hide. Just observe. Anger is here. And breathe. Slowly, mindfully. The anger will rise like a wave and fall again. The same is true for restlessness, for doubt, for confusion. Each of these things comes like a guest. And each of them leaves if you do not feed them. But how do we feed them? We feed them with thoughts. We feed them when we believe their stories. For example, when doubt says, "You're not good enough," and you say, "Yes, maybe that's true," then you have invited doubt to sit at your table and eat from your plate. You have made it your friend, but it is not your friend. is only a passing shadow. Mindfulness allows you to say, that's a thought. That's a feeling. It is not me. It is just something that is visiting. Let me tell you a small story. There was a monk who struggled with anger. He tried everything, long meditations, fasting, chanting, but the anger still returned. One day, his teacher said, "Stop trying to get rid of the anger. Next time it comes, sit with it. Invite it for tea." So he did. One day, the anger came like fire. The monk sat quietly and said, "Anger, I see you. Let's have tea." He sat still, breathing gently, and did nothing. After some time, the anger faded. It didn't get the fight it wanted. It had no energy to stay. This is the way. When you observe with mindfulness, you do not give energy to your inner enemies. You just see them. That seeing is like the sun. It warms and melts even hardest ice. Let's go deeper. You're not your thoughts. You're not your feelings. You're the one who sees the thoughts, feels the feelings. That which sees is still. That which sees is peaceful. That is your true nature. But if you forget this, then every thought becomes your master. Every emotion becomes your identity. When sadness comes, you say, "I am sad." When fear comes, you say, "I am afraid." No, these things visit, but they are not who you are. Mindfulness trains you to say, sadness is here. Not, "I am sad." Do you feel the difference? One creates space. One holds peace. Mindfulness is not about control. It's not about stopping your mind. It's about becoming its gentle witness. When the mind runs wild, you don't shout at it. You don't punish it. You sit beside it like a kind friend and say, "I see you. Take your time. I will not follow you." And slowly, the mind quiets down. Let's try together. Right now, what are your thoughts? Are they in the past? The future? What are they saying? Don't judge. Just observe. Can you hear the space between the thoughts? That's silence. That's peace. It has been there the whole time. You just forgot to notice it. You see, the 5 hindrances are like dust on a mirror. They are not permanent. They do not change what you are. They only cover it. And when you wipe them gently with mindfulness, the mirror becomes clear again. Let's say desire comes. You want something, food, praise, attention, pleasure. Stop. Take a breath. Ask, do I really need this now? Or is this just a habit? Just asking the question brings light. Just seeing it as a desire loosens its grip. Let's say aversion comes. You're annoyed, angry. Someone hurt you. Stop. Take a breath. Say, aversion is here. Can you see where in your body you feel it? Maybe tightness in the chest, heat in the face. Don't run. Don't react. Just notice. Just breathe. This is mindfulness. Restlessness. When it comes, your mind jumps like a monkey. You feel like doing something, going somewhere, checking your phone, escaping. Stop. Take a breath. Say, the monkey mind is awake. And smile. It cannot jump forever. Even monkeys get tired. If you don't chase it, it will come down from the tree. And then there's doubt. So tricky. It makes you ask, is this even working? Am I wasting time? Can I really be free? Let's speak. Then say, thank you, doubt. I hear you, but I will sit anyway. That courage, that small act, is powerful. Now you begin to see. The hindrances are not the problem. Not seeing them clearly is the problem. Once you see them, once you shine the light of mindfulness, they lose their power. The Buddha did not say, destroy your enemies. He said, understand them, because understanding is peace. When you sit quietly and look within, the mind becomes your friend, not your enemy. And when the mind is calm, life becomes simple. Mindfulness is not something far away. It's not something only for monks. It's right here, in this breath, in this moment. Just notice. Just be. That's all. You're already on the path. Keep walking gently, one breath at a time, one moment at a time, and peace will follow. Freedom through understanding, the Buddha's insight. Sit quietly, my child. Let your breath settle like dust in still air. Today, I will not give you something new to hold. I will help you drop what you never needed to carry. You see, all your life you've been trying to escape your pain. You run from discomfort, hide from fear, chase pleasure, grab praise, avoid blame. You think, if I could just fix this one more thing, then I'll be at peace. But peace is not waiting at the end of your next plan. It has been waiting inside you, patiently, under all your noise. The Buddha did not give us rules to follow blindly. He gave us understanding, deep like the ocean and quiet like moonlight. When you see clearly, truly see what's going on inside you, peace comes by itself, just like the sun rises without your help. You ask me, Master, how can I be free when my mind is always restless, always wanting, always pushing me into doubt, anger, sadness? I say you must understand, not just read or remember, but see how these habits rise and fall like waves on the sea. The 5 hindrances, yes, I've spoken of them before, but today I want you to feel what they are doing. They are not just ideas. They are thieves wearing soft shoes. They come into your house quietly and leave you feeling empty, tired, and unsure why. Let me remind you. First, desire. It whispers, just one more bite, one more scroll, one more word from them, and then you'll feel okay. But each time you grab, peace slips further away. Desire is a trickster who promises heaven and leave you hungry. Second, aversion. You say, I can't stand this. I hate it. I must get rid of it. But what you fight becomes your shadow. The more you push it away, the more it chases you. Like trying to push water with your hands, it splashes back harder. Third, restlessness. You can't sit still. Your body is here, but your mind is a traveler, never home. You scroll, you tap, you distract, you escape. But stillness frightens you. Why? Because when you stop, the truth whispers, and you don't want to hear it yet. Fourth, doubt. Is this really the right path? Am I doing enough? What if I'm wrong? Doubt keeps you spinning in circles. You fear the unknown so much that you'd rather stay in a cage you know than open a door you don't. Fifth, sloth and torpor. You say, I'm tired. I'll practice later. I'll wake up tomorrow. But each delay adds weight to your spirit. Peace is not found by sleeping through your awakening. Now, child, I will not scold you. I will not ask you to be perfect. I will ask you to look. That's it. Just look. Look without fear. Look without judgment. See each hindrance as it comes. Name it gently. And say, I see you. That's the first step to freedom. You don't need to force these hindrances out. If you shine a lamp in a dark room, does the darkness argue? No, it just disappears. Awareness is your lamp. And awareness comes from understanding. Understand that desire comes and goes. It is not you. Understand that anger rises and falls. It is not you. Understand that restlessness, doubt, laziness, they are passing clouds. You're the sky. They visit, but they do not stay. You may ask, how do I shine this lamp of awareness? I'll tell you, slow down. When you eat, just eat. When you walk, just walk. When you breathe, just breathe. Watch yourself gently. Don't correct, just see. And then, a miracle happens. A space opens up between you and your thoughts. A gap where peace can enter. You begin to realize that not everything the mind says is true. Not every feeling must be followed. Not every thought needs a reply. This is what the Buddha called right view, seeing things clearly as they are. It's like cleaning a dusty mirror. At first, you only see smudges. But with care, the reflection appears. And what you see is not someone broken. It is someone free. Some people ask, isn't this path too slow? But tell me, how fast does a tree grow? You cannot pull its branches and expect it to bloom. You water it, you give it light, and you wait. Peace grows the same way, patiently, gently, surely. So don't be discouraged by your old habits. Even a thick forest begins with a single seed. And every time you watch your anger instead of reacting, every time you breathe through desire instead of chasing it, you plant peace. True understanding is not loud. It does not scream, I am enlightened. It walks quietly. It listens. It bows to the moment. You'll know you're close when silence feels like a friend, not a punishment. And you'll know you're free when you no longer need to be right, praised, or in control. You'll be like the river, flowing, soft, unstoppable. The Buddha did not ask us to escape the world. He asked us to stop escaping ourselves. That's all. To stop running and look. So, my dear one, start today, not with grand plans. Start by drinking tea with full attention. Start by noticing one breath. Start by forgiving yourself for all the years you didn't know better. You're here now. You're listening. And that means something inside you is already waking up. Don't rush. Walk slowly, but walk with your eyes open. Freedom is not far. It's just behind your next moment of understanding. Building a daily practice to clear the mind. The path to peace, liberation from the 5 hindrances. Dear one, you've come far. 12 teachings, 12 moments to pause and look inside. 12 times the heart heard something different from the usual noise of the world. Now you are here at the last step, but truly, this is not an end. This is a beginning. Let me speak to you like a gentle wind, calm, slow, but sure. Let me not fill your mind with heavy words. Let's speak from soul to soul. You came here searching for peace, not the fake peace of silence outside, but the deep peace that stays even when life is loud. And we spoke of 5 things, 5 enemies, 5 blocks, 5 shadows that steal the sunlight inside you. Attachment, aversion, restlessness, doubt, craving. They're not monsters in a cave. They don't wear armor. They wear your thoughts. They borrow your voice. They hide in your habits. But when you see them, they become small. When you understand them, they lose power. Let me ask you, what have you seen in yourself during this journey? Did you notice how your mind runs toward things and then gets tired? Did you see how you push things away and still feel trapped? Did you feel how thoughts swirl and stir, even in silence? Did you feel that little voice of, what if this is wrong? Did you notice how desires come, but never say enough? If you did, even once, then smile. Because awareness has entered. That awareness is the first light of peace. Let me tell you a story, short and true. There was once a man who lived in a house made of glass. He didn't know it was glass. He thought the world outside was dangerous. He stayed inside, always cleaning his floor, arranging his chairs, fixing small things. But one day a little crack appeared. He looked through it. He saw birds flying, trees dancing in the wind, children laughing. He stepped out. Peace was not inside that house. It was in the open sky. But the sky was always there. Just like that man, many people try to fix the inside of the glass house. They try to adjust their jobs, their partners, their schedules, their bodies. But what if I told you, peace has nothing to do with adjusting anything outside. It comes when you step beyond the walls of these 5 hindrances. Let's remember them one more time. Gently, simply. 1. Attachment. It says, I need this to be happy. But life says everything changes, and the clash brings suffering. 2. Aversion. It says, I don't want this. But life brings all kinds of weather, and your dislike becomes your prison. 3. Restlessness. It says something is missing. Do more. Be more. But the moment is already complete, if only you would see it. 4. Doubt. It whispers, are you sure? Is this right? Will it work? And suddenly, your path becomes foggy. 5. Craving. It burns like fire. More, more, more. But fire never says, that's enough wood. Now hear this deeply. You are not these hindrances. They visit, but they are not your home. You are the space in which they rise and fall. You are the awareness that watches the clouds, but is never the cloud. What can you do now? Not something hard, not something big. Just notice. When you feel tightness in your chest, notice. When you feel hunger for something you don't even need, notice. When you feel the urge to run from pain or chase pleasure, notice. And in that noticing, pause. That pause is gold. That pause is the gate to peace. The Buddha never asked us to become anything special. He asked us to wake up. Wake up from a sleep of habit. Wake up from the illusion that something outside will complete us. Wake up from the dream that you need to fix the world before you rest inside. Dear one, peace is not far. It's not even near. It's here, right now. But the 5 hindrances put a veil over it. Imagine a clear lake. Calm, still, reflecting the moon. But if you throw a stone, ripples come. You can't see the reflection. But when the ripples settle, the moon returns. Your mind is like that lake. These hindrances are the stones. You don't need to drain the lake or move the moon. You just need to stop throwing stones. So now, what is the way forward? Not more books, not more theories, but practice. Daily practice. Simple practice. Sit quietly for a few minutes each morning. Breathe and watch your breath like a curious friend. When a thought or feeling comes, smile at it. Don't fight. Don't follow. Just smile. Notice what pulls you. Notice what pushes you. And slowly, slowly let go. Let your life become a meditation. Not only when sitting, but while walking, talking, eating, resting. Peace is not something to chase. It's something to uncover. You uncover it when you remove what hides it. Let this final teaching live in your heart. The heart is naturally pure, but it gets covered by dust. When the dust is gone, the light returns. You are that light. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for a perfect moment. Begin now, with what you have, as you are. Let go, breathe, be, and finally, thank you for walking this path with wisdom woven. If even one teaching from this series touched your heart, if one moment made you pause and smile inside, then let that grow. There's so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribes. If you felt peace here, don't keep it just to yourself. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Wisdom Woven. It helps more people find this path. It helps this small flame of peace reach many more hearts. May you be well. May you be free. May your peace never depend on anything outside. This is the end of the series, but the beginning of your real peace. The Zen Master bows gently and walks into silence.